Hello friends, today we will going to discuss about one more topic, that is project planning. See, whenever we are telling about an entrepreneurship or enterprise or anything, if I want to start maybe a small business or maybe a huge business or a medium-sized business, I must have a proper planning for that. Whenever I want to start some project with respect to entrepreneurship or a small or maybe in a bigger way, I have to plan it very well. So now today we will see what all the important aspect has to be considered when you go for the project planning. So first we will see what is project planning. When we are telling about a project planning, as the name itself indicates that it is about the planning of a project. So it is nothing but it includes the operationally planning, whereby we used to give step-by-step procedures or what all the steps has to be followed while implementing the project activities, and it will be carefully mapped in such a way that it should have a very good returns for the investors or the person who starts the enterprise or a project. It is mainly indicates that the interlinking between the different activities has to be carried out when you are starting a project. So here they have written the project planning is a form of operational planning, whereby the consecutive step to implement the project activities are carefully mapped out based on the analysis of relevant information and linked to the program in which the project takes place and to which it should contribute. That means whenever you go for a project planning, you have to have some prior information. Based on the prior information, we will going to plan the project. But actual sense, what the project plan will do. The project planning, it involves mainly to establish the scope, and it will going to mention what is the main objectives and aim of a project and the way in which the project has to be performed. That means the pathway, the road map of the project in that it has to move, and the roles and responsibilities of those who are involved in this project, maybe in terms of a manager or maybe a subordinate, supervisor, controller, whatever it may be, and what is the time required to complete this project and what is the budget requirement or the cost estimation of the project will be done in the process of project planning. So while doing a project planning, there are several tools are available which has to be used as a benchmark for planning your project. The first one is Gantt chart, and the next one is the problem tree analysis. Next is the SWOT analysis. And the fourth one is logical framework analysis, that is called as LFA. And the next one is project management softwares. And the next one is Proceed project planning tool. And the next is the intervention mapping. It is especially used in a health promotion projects. Now we will see one by one. The first one is Gantt chart. The Gantt chart, as the pictures you could able to see here, the Gantt chart is including the list of tasks to be performed in a vertical axis, means in a column wise, and the width, the horizontal axis will going to give you the time interval given to perform that particular activities. For example, in this picture, the planning process has to be completed from January 19th to March 19th. That means they have given only 2 months period to perform a particular task, that is a planning. Here also in this chart also you could able to see that the task one has to be performed from the 28th August to 25th September. Within that period, that particular task has to be performed. That is what is the Gantt chart. The Gantt chart is acts as a benchmark where we will going to plan the whole activities of our project, where we will list the activities to be carried out in a vertical axis, and the horizontal axis will going to indicate the time given to perform a particular activities or the particular task has to be performed in a given period of time. These Gantt chart illustrate the start and finishing date of the project, or the finishing date of the project, or the terminal elements, or the summary of the elements of a project will be indicated in a Gantt chart. So this is the one of the technique you could able to make use while going for planning a project. And the next comes is the problem tree analysis. The problem tree analysis is nothing but here, when before starting a project, or when you are going for planning a project, you have to plan in such a way that this is what the problem or the project of that. And if I take that project, what are all the problems might occur during the process of my project or during the process of my enterprise or my business. This is what is called as a problem tree analysis. This problem tree analysis is pictorial representation of the problem and what are its root causes and what will be the consequences of that problem. So this is what we can see. See, when I start a project or enterprise, so if I feel that there is no proper supply of raw material for my project or my enterprise, I should first know what are the root causes for that. If this is the root cause, then how it could be solved. And if that is the problem, if it continues for another 3 weeks or 5 weeks, what are all the consequences I have to face because of that the irregular supply of raw materials. That is what will be indicated in a problem tree analysis before starting any project or any enterprise or any business. This is very, very essential because the starting an enterprise or a business is very easy. But in between, if any problem comes, how it has to be solved or what are all the causes of the problems, if it is known in the early only, then we can able to take effective control measure or effective curative measure for all those problems. This analysis tools helps the project team to get a quick glance at how a range of complex issues will arise during your project and how these problems will branch out into different consequences. This is what is the problem tree analysis. And the next one is the logical framework analysis, that is called as LFA. See, logical framework analysis is also called as a log frame. It is a document that gives an overview of the objectives, activities, and resources of a project. And along with that, it is also going to provide the information of the external elements that may influence the project, that is called as assumption. For example, that is nothing but whenever I am planning a project, I know what is my objective and what are all the activities has to be carried out to achieve that objective and what are all the resources available with me to achieve those activities to reach the goal. This is how it is given here, logical framework. See, I am having my goal, what is the purpose, what is the output, and what are all the activities has to be carried out during a project period. But what happens in between, there is a chance that there may be an unexpected element may enter or that may influence in smooth running of a project. That is called as an assumption. That means when we are running a project or when I am carrying out a business, I may put an assumption that I may not get the skilled employee to carry out a particular job. So that acts as an unexpected problem. There are some element which is hindering my production activity. For example, the skilled worker can produce 100 pieces per day, whereas unskilled worker may produce only 50% of it. Then my output will be very less. If the output is less, that may not contribute efficiently to my profit. This is what will be identified in logical framework analysis. So it looks like a table. The logical framework analysis that will help us to represent the information about the key components. Here I have given the table like the goal, outcomes, output, activities. That is how it is measured. And what are all the input, the budget required. And if it is a goal, that is youth empowerment opportunity increases due to this, then the country will remain stable. That is important assumption. So like that, in each and every stage, there may be a chance of occurrence of so many unexpected elements that may hinder the project, or sometimes that may encourage the project also. So that has to be analyzed before planning or implementing your enterprise or a business. So these key components of a project, if it is clear, concise, logical, and systematically represented, then it is very easy to identify in each and every stage, and we can take up measures to control all these things. And the next one is the project management software. See, you know very well that the project management software nowadays, we have improved a lot with respect to information technology. Each and everything could be done in a software only. So that's why there are a lot of softwares available to plan this project or to decide about how the project has to move further in the process of implementing it. So that will be done through by using so many softwares. See, these softwares helps the project managers and their team to collaborate and meet the goals within a period of time with the available resources and with the available budget. So this project planning will be done as per your requirement with the available time and with the available resources and also with the available budget. See, this mainly includes the task distribution, time tracking, budgeting, resource planning, team collaboration, and like this. So in the software, the project managing mainly involves all these things. So if this is done properly in a time basis, available resource basis, and cost basis, then you can plan your project very efficiently and effectively. Here I have mentioned some of the project management softwares available like Agile project management, budget tracking software, enterprise project management software, marketing project management software, project portfolio management software, time tracking software, visual project management software. These are only few. Apart from this also, you will get many project planning softwares or management softwares which help you to identify your task, objectives, time management with the available resources. Everything will be planned in a short period of time. And the next technique of project planning is proceed method. See, proceed analysis, here two proceeds are there. In the first proceed means something or someone. Second proceed means to carry on or go forward. So this is what is called as a proceed framework. See, here the first proceed provides the structure for planning and targeted on a focused program. That means in a first stage, we will plan and we will write down the procedure to be followed to achieve those plans. Whereas in the second proceed, which provides a structural framework, which involves mainly the implementing part and the evaluating part. See, you have heard about the program planning process. In the program planning process, the program design and the program implementation, there are the two parts. Whereas the first proceed is for designing and the second proceed is for the implementation and the evaluation. This is what the technique. See, in a first phase, what they will do is what has to be done for planning and proceeding of that project. In the second half, they will going to plan how it has to be implemented and how effectively it could be evaluated to know that whether it is moving in the right direction and giving profit to us. And the next one is the intervention mapping. Intervention mapping, as I told, this is mainly used in the medical or the health field. See, here in the intervention mapping means the intervention is nothing but introducing something in between. That is what is called as an intervention. This is a protocol for developing theory-based and evidence-based promotion program. See, intervention mapping is nothing but when I'm going through my project, what type of new things could be introduced in between for effective functioning of that enterprise to achieve a success in my business. For example, the Bharat Biotech, they are having their routine method of medical production or the medicine production. But in between when the COVID came, so they started doing research on finding out the vaccine for COVID. So this is what the intervention they have done in between, and that made them to achieve a lot of profit and they could able to grab the maximum market with respect to COVID medicine. Same way, when I am running an enterprise or a business in between, for example, mine is only the papad making unit. You think that it is only, mine is only to the papad making small unit enterprise. So I'm going through it, producing certain amount of papad and selling to different markets. So in between, you may come out with something new, which is intertwining in between in your work. Maybe the papad, you will going to fry it and you are packing and selling it to the customer where they can eat directly as it is the packed food. So this is what the intervention you are introducing in your enterprise, and that may give you higher profitability. And that is what you should do, the intervention mapping also when you are going for a project plan. See, the project planning, we cannot say that it is like this and it is not having a particular framework. So in between also you must plan some things to get a higher profitability. So we will see what are the steps involved in a project plan. The first one is assessment of situation, identification and prioritization, project design and development, plan for implementation, monitoring and evaluation, and proposal development. Now we will see one by one. Assessment of situation. See, situation, you know that before starting my project, I should assess what is the position in the market. That means you have to make a stakeholder analysis. It is called as stakeholder analysis is nothing but the team has to analyze. Scientific community maybe include the project team, scientific community, community people, beneficiaries, customers, everybody has to be analyzed. Here they have to have a project organizational chart. Means I am analyzing what is the depth for that particular product, how much demand is there, how can I approach a market. Afterwards, I must have my organizational structure. Who will be the leader? What are all the subordinates? How it is flowing? That is needed. And legal framework. That means I must have a proper legal support for my project or my enterprise. It has to be done according to the requirement of rules and regulation. And situational analysis has to be done. See, situational analysis means if you see that so many players are there in the market, and again you are introducing your same product in the market, you have to analyze the situation that how much demand will be there for my product that could be sold in a market and get higher profit. See, you can, by changing the structure, appearance, packing, grading, quality, everything will matters. How I should able to introduce the same product in a different way and grab the market. That has to be done here, the situational analysis. And one must collect the baseline information and analysis. That is nothing but you are collecting a secondary data. That is the requirement of the people, needs of a customer, and the maximum players in the market, the financial availability. If I am going to start with the same, what will be my position, and who are all my competitors, what are all the constraints I may come across, where I can get the raw materials, everything is through this baseline information analysis has to be done. Next comes is the identification and prioritization. Identification of what is here the problem. See, whenever I'm starting a project, I must identify what are all the problems I may come across when I start my project. Once you identify a problem, then you have to come out with the solution for that problem also. You have to develop your own strategy to overcome all these problems. You may be having several strategies for single problem. If you are having more than one strategy, you prioritize all those strategies and you could make use during your project process. Next is design and development. When you go for project designing and development, you must develop the scope and objectives of that project. And what is the duration of your project? I have to run for 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, or lifelong that has to run. And the quality of that plan. How effectively and efficiently I have planned for my project. And next is the resource, which is very essential for your project is you have to plan for your resource. Resource in terms of raw material, human resource, technical resource, everything you have to plan. Water, electricity, everything comes here. That has to plan very well. Communication and coordination. Communication and coordination is nothing but how you are going to market your produce, advertisement, how you are interacting with your employees, customer, how you are coordinating with your subordinates, how you are running in a collaboration, that work, that has to be designed and developed very well. And the next comes is for planning for implementation. Implementation, when the implementation part comes, at that time, finance comes a major role. That is what is the tracking the budget and work plan. Where and all, how much amount I have to use it for that. And I have to distribute that budget according to that only, requirement only. Then before actual implementation, I have to test it. in a pilot basis. If I do like this, what will happen? And if you test like that, you may come across lot of risk or the problem. You may come across some of the problems, or you may face certain risk. If that risk or a problems comes, what are the changes I can adapt in my project to go through that same project and achieve the success? That has to be planned during implementation. And at last comes is the monitoring and evaluation. Whenever you do a project, the monitoring and evaluation is very, very, very essential. If you won't monitor and evaluate, you will not know where is the problem, how it has to be overcome, and whether you could able to achieve the target or not will not be known. The first thing is that you have to set the target, indicator, quality standards for monitoring or evaluating your project. And next comes is you have to evaluate or monitor the project by using this PERT and CPM method. PERT is project evaluation and review technique. CPM is the critical path method for tracking the project, whether it is moving in a right path or not. That is LFA for tracking achievement and the progress, which I have told already. And next is evaluation by asking certain questions by the customers, employees, or different evaluation methods are there that has to be used, which I have told already in the organizational skill. That method has to be used in a certain timely basis, and you have to know whether your project or the enterprise is moving in a right direction, giving you the success. See, whenever you want to start an enterprise or a business or any project, you must have a proper plan. Plan it in all the aspects, maybe resource, maybe budget, maybe legally, and you have to do the baseline survey. You must analyze the situation, then plan for your project to be succeed. Thank you so much. I hope you got the point whichever I have told. Thank you.